This is Jose Manuel Salazar. This is my audience. In this day and age, there's very few things that are respected. And that's the perspective that many people of the older generations have taken. And one of those things that have not been respected is gender and sex. Gender and sex are seen as the exact same thing in many respects, and you're either born as a boy or as a girl. And with that comes the disrespect of trans people or people that believe that they are different from the gender the sex that they were assigned to at birth. And I need everyone to realize right now that there's a difference between sex and gender. Sex is what you were born with, and gender is how you express yourself. So, gender is obviously how you express yourself, and that can take many forms, whether it be acting more feminine or acting more masculine, dressing more feminine or dressing more masculine. It's all up to the person to express their gender. Now, that can be different from the biological sex that someone was assigned to at birth. And a lot of people don't realize that, and a lot of people don't accept that. But once we realize that there is a difference between how one can express themselves and what one has been given to them at birth, then we can start to progress as a society. And this is crucial because the inclusion of trans people in communities is important for the betterment of all of society. There have been many times in our history that people have been discriminated against based on what they have been given to at birth. Whether someone was born with a different skin color, or born tall, or born short, or born ugly, or born pretty. And those have all led to different forms of prejudice that have destroyed society. And being born trans, or being born expressing yourself differently from how you were assigned to at birth, is one of those prejudices that have been created over time in order to oppress people for no real good reason. Now, where am I going with this? Where I'm going with this is that you need to start realizing what people see themselves as and what people go through mentally, and how it's not that different from what has happened in the past, in other times, in other places, and other stories. And with the realization that there's a difference between gender and sex, between a difference between your expression and what you were born with, now comes in the topic of pronouns. Now, personal pronouns are one of the many forms of expression that we have been given in our arsenal of human expression, and we can choose what pronouns we are assigned to. For example, my pronouns are he, him, meaning that I identify more masculine and as a boy. Now, there are other people that the other side of the coin to this is she, her pronouns, which are for more feminine people and are for girls. There's also they, them pronouns for non-binary people, or people that don't identify with being a boy or a girl, or being in a third category, non-binary being breaking down the binary of gender. This is important to note because in our society, we need to make everything more inclusive for everyone. We need to make sure that everyone feels included and that everyone feels like they can be a part of it. And with that, their gender expression needs to be seen, and it needs to be heard, and it needs to be accommodated for. And it is crucial that everyone is able to see their own, how they express themselves, and how they can do that for other people. Now, what's one thing that you can do today that will be able to make this world a more inclusive place for all people of all gender expressions and sexes? One thing that you can do is putting your pronouns into your bio on Instagram. This will let everyone know that you identify a certain way, and it will make it easier for trans people to put their personal pronouns and allow people to see how they want to be and want to identify as, and how they want to be seen or perceived. This is a very simple and very easy thing to do, but not many people have taken it seriously, and it's not that hard to see why. For many people, it's difficult to include other people into their worldviews, and ethnocentrism is rampant in all parts of society and in all parts of our world. But I'd like to encourage everyone here today to try and break the barriers of ethnocentrism that have been built up upon the years of living on this earth that you have been accustomed to. I want everyone here to take a look at themselves and say, what kind of person do I want to be? Do I want to be someone that includes other people of other identities, or do I want to close myself off to any other possibilities and close myself to any other options? It's a very important question to ask and think about. And with that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you for listening.